Part of our challenge that we need to be aware of, and the reason we dive so much further as we go into this particular course, this is just the beginning of the course, but the reason we do this is because, I hate to tell you this as we are gathered for a Constitution class, but America's not governed by the Constitution anymore. The Constitution, the actual words of the Constitution no longer govern our land. In fact, we are governed by what I call the courtstitution. It is a new law of the land that these guys on the court, just 5 out of 9 unelected, unaccountable justices, throw a phrase in here and they throw a phrase in there and they create this concoction we now know as the courtstitution, and that becomes the law of the land. And what's actually said in the Constitution doesn't even matter. What matters now is what those justices decide, what they actually write, what their opinion is, becomes the law of the land, because we don't understand how the Constitution actually was intended to work, and we've bought the lie that has been perpetrated on us by the legal community, by the education system, and it's our job to turn that around. We start by actually breaking the Constitution out ourselves, by actually studying this thing. I love these bumper stickers, you know, annoy a liberal, read the Constitution. Got Constitution, read the Constitution. Of course we need to be reading the Constitution, because at the end of the day, even the Constitution itself is not going to save us. It's not going to protect us. In fact, there was a guy at the original Constitutional Convention named John Francis Mercer. He actually said the Constitution is not even going to govern the United States. He said it's a great mistake to suppose that the paper we are to propose will govern the United States. Now wait a minute. Framer of the Constitution is saying that the Constitution is not going to govern the United States. That's a mistake if you think that. He said, no, it's not the Constitution itself. It's the men whom the Constitution, so if you're following it, the people that it will bring into the government and the interest that they have in maintaining it and protecting the actual Constitution. The paper is only going to mark out the mode and the form, mid or the substance, and must do the business. In other words, the document sets up the rules for how this game's going to be played, but who we put on the field, who we elect, who ends up on the bench, if they're willing to govern around the Constitution, shred the Constitution, destroy the Constitution, ignore the Constitution, if they're willing to do that, and we're willing to sit back and let them do that, then the Constitution means nothing. And that's how we've gotten in the mess that we are. So the first thing we've got to do is stand up and say, I refuse my consent to this. Declaration talks about the consent of the governed. We've got to stand up and say, this is wrong. This has got to stop. We want to restore the Constitution. We want to come back to the original intent of what the framers intended.